Hi there, Agile friends. I'll come in here just with a quick note to let you know that the Agile Online Summit 2022 is coming soon. To know more, check out bit.ly/AOS2022. That's all one word, all lowercase, bit.ly/AOS2022. Now, stick around to the end of the episode if you want to know more, but for now, on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday, the Leading Change episode. And this week we have with us Shahin Sheidaei. Hey, Shahin, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So Wednesday is change. And I know because I paid attention. In the bio, it said that you are a transformation expert, which of course means a lot of change happening. So I'm really curious to hear the story that you have to share with us. So tell us that story of a change process you were involved with and, walk us through the story. But as you go through it, highlight for us the tools, the tips, the tricks, the techniques you learned back then that you still apply today.
Yeah, for sure. So I started my company 4 years ago, most of the clients that I had, and even before that, was from the financial institution in Canada. And I learned what they value most, right? When they're talking about agility, when talking about like bringing Scrum in, bringing Kanban in, like bringing all these different flavors in. I was looking for my next client. I got to an interview, and I typically, when I go to an interview, I interview the organization and the group as well. So my recommendation after the interview was that you want me to come and coach the teams, but the team seems to be very good at what they do. You need change at the different level. You need to have a change at the program level, at the leadership level, like at least at the directorship level, to help with the change that's happening at the ground. They told me, no, we don't need change there. We are all good. We want someone to come and help the teams with. I told myself that I'm not a good coach if I can't go and help the teams with, because the team we're struggling because someone is telling them you are not doing a good job, right? We need someone else to come and help you to do a good job. That's basically what the coach does, right? I told myself I'm not a good coach if I can't navigate this space. I said yes. I set as goal for myself, if I can't do it in 6 months, I'm going to be out of there. And my goal was that to help with the leadership understand that, or not understand, realize that they need to change. So I went there, worked with the team, understood what the process is, worked with the leadership, get to know who is influential, who values what, right? What are the who is the influencers on the leadership, and how this leadership influential map is can work, can be used. And that's one thing that I typically do in an organization. I typically do a mapping of all the people that I know and who is related to who does who influences whom. Because typically, if you want to have a change working in the organization, transformation happening, you need to make sure that this is coming from someone within the organization. If it comes from someone within the organization, the change is going to be propagating very fast. But if it's coming from you and telling them that, hey, I'm here as a consultant, I see what you're doing, you're not doing it right? That's what the impression would be. Long story short, after a couple of months being there, I was engaged. I set up a cadence with the leadership, and in one of the leadership, I made a huge risk for myself. There was a VP level that came to that meeting, and we were presenting typically what the Agile journey path is, where we are at, what are the challenges. And in that meeting, I just only used one slide because I knew that very influential person is coming to that meeting. And that slide was just focusing on showing how much time is being spent on development, how much time is being spent in QA, how much time is being spent on getting things to the production. And that the average lead time for each of these stages. The average lead time after the things get done until it gets to production was more than 3 weeks. Average lead time for the development was less than a week. And then I showed that and there was an arrow that's showing an agile coach is helping this development piece here, not the rest. And the VP there was like, why the agile coach is not helping with that 3-week average lead time? And that was a valid question, right? But the leadership there were not happy to go there, because everyone was comfortable with what they had. And for change, we need to come out of our comfort, and sometimes an external factor needs to come there and push you toward that. So the external factor here was the question that the VP asked, because he was external to this leadership group, and he asked that, hey, and the leadership there tried to answer that, but after a couple of weeks, I got invited to a directorship level conversation with them, and they basically asked me to help them to go through the change and help the team to at the bigger level to go be more effective. It was a risky move for me and for all of the Scrum Masters. I always tell them, with a Scrum Master that I work with, a good Scrum Master is a Scrum Master to push for the change until the limit of getting fired, until the limit of limiting, the system has a tolerance. You push it to that tolerance level and let it cool down for yourself and see what the system does. And that's what I did there. It was almost there for my contract to get ended, but the impact was huge. After that, I was focusing on the whole value stream rather than just the development piece. We were able to bring the agility, actually what it means, the teams work together, not hands off happening, and impact where it matters.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's easy to forget, because you just told us a very interesting story about the risk that you took. It's easy to forget that you said some very crucial things before that part of the story. One of them was learn who is influential, who influences who. Map out the people that are in your stakeholder network, right? Who talks to whom the most, who makes decisions, who is influential. Because that risk that you took, although it was, as you said, taking the conversation to the limit of tolerance for that organization, it was also done in a way where the right person was in the room. And at that point, you knew who the right person was, right? And this is an incredibly important aspect of change, which is to know who are the people that need to hear the message, right? Because there's no point in trying to convince everybody else if that person isn't on board. So I think from this story, I think the idea of taking a conversation to the limit of tolerance in the organization is a very valid idea. It's even very important for us as Scrum Masters, both at the team as well as the whole organizational level. But I think for me, what sticks to my mind is this thought that that conversation will happen, the conversation of taking things to the limit of tolerance, but you need to know with whom it needs to happen. Right. And I think that work is incredibly important for us as Scrum Masters and in the end, change leaders.
Right. And you need to be patient with it, because with the right person, you might not get the interaction with him in first week, in first month, in first 3 months, right? You need to build your rapport for him to actually pay attention to you, for him to see that you know what you are doing, right? Because the people that are high up, right, they are not very, they don't have that much time to spend. They look at what you have
and they
done,
don't know who you are most of the time.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you need to be patient. You need to be patient with but if that happens, the impact would be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're looking for at the end. Right. Huge impact with change. Right. Thank you for sharing that, Shahin.
No problem. Thank you.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around to know more about this year's Agile Online Summit. The summit will have 4 keynotes and 4 tracks you will not want to miss. The keynotes will touch on critical topics for us, from delivering on time to helping you to focus on sustainability. The 4 tracks are tools, so we'll focus on tools you need to excel at your job, but also your mission. We'll also have a track on sustainability, which is, of course, about people and their sustainable pace, but it's also about how do we bring sustainability to the products and the planet we inhabit. We'll have a third track about happiness, talking about doing what we love and, most crucially, loving what we do. And finally, the fourth track will be live. It will be mostly hands-on sessions to help you roll up your sleeves together with the presenters. Oh, and we will also have a coaching clinic, as we usually do, organized to help you discuss and get inspired to solve the hardest challenges you face at work. This year, we'll have a special emphasis on interaction with your peers, so get your ticket and join the Slack at bit.ly/AOS 2022. As always, we have free tickets for anyone that wants to attend live and the VIP tickets for those of you who want to keep the videos forever. So check them out at bit.ly/AOS 2022. I'll see you on the conference floor. Leading change is one of the core skills we must acquire, but it is only one of the steps towards our success as Scrum Masters. Tomorrow, on Success Thursday, we will talk about how to define success for the Scrum Master role, we'll cover tips on how to measure your way to that position, and most importantly, how to develop that focus on continuous improvement that is as important for Scrum Masters as it is for teams. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.